Anything for you, babe. Anything for you.
My ideal relationship, it's probably why I'm not in one now, but
With it being open, it's a lot. With us, because we're open to a lot.
My ideal relationship. Woo. Somebody who has a job. Somebody who is God fearing. Somebody who is loving, compassionate. If you're out there, come holler at me. But that's my, someone with goals, education goals and things. Someone who is actually doing something with their life, not afraid to live.
My ideal relationship would be a relationship with trust on both sides.
In my eyes, no relationship is perfect. So, like, in my eyes, the ideal relationship is two people willing to be understanding with each other and can cohabitate together with minimum issues, but not really all the issues and drama that comes with those toxic relationships.
You know, whether it's motivation, you know, just having that support system or someone who, you know, waters you and, you know, tells you like, you got this, you can do it. I got you, you got me. It's really just a lot of support and care and nurture.
someone who challenges me. I don't necessarily subscribe to the whole, opposite attracts or, you have to be the exact same as your partner. I believe that every partnership should be you both have a goal of attaining to be better than who you are, but at the same time being able to challenge each other and not challenge each other and like who's going to do the laundry and not who's going to do the laundry, but it's where you're not so strong, the other person might be. And they push you to kind of open up in that area and you would do the same thing for them.
Man, transparency. I can only meet somebody, where they are. I can't expect my idealism of what a relationship is and come in with all these ideas and what I think that relationship should be if that person who I think I'm in a relationship with is like, wait, I don't think that's how relationships work. My idea of a relationship is definitely loving one another through the honest conversation.
My ideal relationship is, I feel like I speak for a lot of people when I say communication is a very vital part of my ideal relationship, being able to openly express an issue that you have and being able to work through it just as openly and it not affecting how you feel for one another.
Be someone who's willing to get to know me unconditionally. Someone who can help me with my flaws, I can grow with, someone I can learn from. And someone who has some very positive domineering traits that I can acquire from them as well. Other than that, the ideal of an ideal relationship is virtually impossible, which why I see a lot of people that are single or in relationships that they are being cheated on or infidelity occurs.
Some people relationships don't work because they want to cheat on each other and they go out and, cheat on with a different person. So we got to understand this to where if we feel like bringing in somebody at the time, if we like the person, we'll bring them home. We have a threesome, just to keep our relationship going instead of outside going cheating and stuff. So we try to do different stuff to make the relationship going.
But with that, you also have
boundaries.
you also have to make sure that the person that you're doing it with is also tested constantly every 3 months and make sure that they're good with their health. So.
My ideal relationship looks like two people supporting each other, who love each other, accept each other for the good and the bad, who are attracted to each other even on their worst days, and basically committed to being honest and transparent with each other no matter what the situation, because life brings a lot of roller coasters. And, I just want somebody that wants to be there with you through the ups and downs.
for me, the ideal relationship is one that is just full of understanding, one that is full of support, um, and also sometimes being able to um, argue and debate and still be able to find a happy medium.
Um, I think being married, not just in a relationship, but being married, that would be my ideal relationship. But just, a partner. Um, like I don't kind of believe in like that whole the man's got to be the provider and I stay home. So it's just us being partners, us communicating with each other, being open and honest with each other, dealing with issues with each other. So it's like this your person that that no matter what you're going through, like you got them and they got you. So, just being happy and in love.
My ideal relationship is basically trust. Because if you don't trust each other, then you're never going to be happy. You're never going to have any of those things. And I feel like that's the hardest thing out here is to find someone you can actually trust. They'll hoodwink you and feed you everything you need to hear, and then they'll just go down the drain.
Um, some of the best experiences in that relationship were the days where we could just be around each other and laugh at silly things and hold each other's hand, and just enjoy each other's company.
My best experience has been overcoming my own insecurities. And that's because, yeah, there may be people that catches his attention or catches his eye. But at the end of the day, I have to realize that it's just like, okay, it's been 8 years. He chose me. So clearly there's a reason. So there's no reason to have those doubts and flaws about myself.
Well, I'm actually going through one right now. So I just graduated, went back to high school with my husband. When we were both, I was 17, he was 18. We both left because the school system we were in wasn't the healthiest. So we decided to just go back together. I was like, let's do it together. We just graduated this past weekend, got our pictures together. It was an exciting moment. And now we're both going into, careers. He wants to study for HVAC system. I want to go into psychology, and we're just, building off of that. Like I support you, financially, emotionally, however I need to, and he does the same for me. So I feel like that's one of the best experiences I'm experiencing right now, and have experienced is just that support from my partner.
My best experience, I would say, would be the support system I received from that person, the amount of how much they cared for me and my safety and well-being, and just overall how they treated me, and how much they wanted the best for me.
I think just reaching new milestones and goals with each other, and for yourself, still reaching your goals, but having that support. I don't know. I need my 40 acres and a house.
I just would like to spend time. We have to make time for each other. Like, let's take trips. Let's go walking down the street. Let's enjoy the moonlight. Let's go to the beach. Anything of the sort. Let's get to know each other inside and out deeply.
I know for me, so the best experience for me is just us reaching a level of just knowing each other, and knowing what to expect from each other, and anticipating each other's needs. I think that's one of the main things that we always do. We also are like polysexual. And so being able to trust each other in a manner where we are able to invite other people in and still remain as strong as we are when it's just the two of us. And when they come and go, we're still just as strong. I think like that has been the best part of our relationship, knowing that we can stand the test of time.
I think that what I've learned over time is that I learned to meet people where they are and learn to be less judgmental. As before, I was like, oh no, this relationship's over because you're not meeting up to these criteria and, you know, the things of this that I have set.
Well, my last relationship, wonderful, wonderful human being, great father to his children, always challenged me, sometimes in a frustrating way. So, and this kind of harkens back to what I talked about with love is being able to handle the good and the bad. And a lot of people who know me know that I often ask for people to give me their feedback and don't hold back. But as soon as they do it, I'm grr, don't tell me what to do. And he understood that, but still was willing to challenge me in ways that I didn't think that I could be challenged before. And so it helped me to appreciate, because of my family life, to appreciate and understand better how people work in a family unit. And so I will always be grateful for that.
Let me see, lying, cheating, not on my part.
Well, I don't think that these things are necessarily avoidable, but some of the downfalls to any relationship might be miscommunication or jealousy, which I think happens in any relationship, whether that be with a partner or a sibling or parents. So it's not unusual to experience these kind of emotions, but you kind of need to have unpleasant emotions so that you can appreciate the good ones.
Getting caught up in lies and arguing, those will probably be some of the worst experiences ever.
The worst would be dishonesty, when there is a form of, when the person is not as honest as you want them to be, it could cause a lot of conflict in the relationship. It could cause a lot of problems. But when there is that trust there, it's easier to solve problems, and there's a limited amount of conflict that is within the relationship.
It's just doing things detrimental to what we had and contradictory to what we previously talked about. You know, I'm fine for things being the first time that something's happened, but if it's happened contrary to what we had established and you make it seem like it's something else, that's not a good feeling, especially when I wasn't involved in that or it was behind my back.
I know for me, it's sometimes it could be feelings of the lack of trust. Though we are solidified in our relationship, sometimes there are things that may hinder us from a certain level of trust. Again, with us inviting other people into our relationship, sometimes it's hard. It gets trying. Sometimes the person that enters is only there for one person or something like that. So our trust is always challenged in that way. But being able to, again, we usually overcome that. But I think like that has been the most trying thing, is just trying to figure out how we navigate through that type of lifestyle and remain true and truthful to each other.
The worst thing is finding someone that won't get too attached, you know. So it's that part, and then the other person probably liking the other person more. So you have to find somebody that you can do it. Okay, it's time for you to go home, and that's it. Right.
A lot of my relationships have dealt with people who kind of like used me to get to other people and you know, when you're in those types of situations, and I've been in them multiple times, you kind of learn to, you know, doubt who you are and what you're about.
Um, I've been robbed in my sleep. I've been. That was the worst thing right there. I've been robbed in my sleep, and I forgave the person once before, and turned around, they did it again. But I mean, you gotta bump your head to learn. So, I've been lied to, cheated on in my face. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it.
I think for me, like, so I've been in an abusive relationship, and I was in that abusive relationship for almost a year. So I think that I'm more like I pick up on some of those triggering things that I experienced in that, and I try to make sure to maybe have the conversations. You know, like if because like with my ex, like when he drank, he became violent. So like if I'm, you know, on a date with somebody and I notice that after a few drinks they get a little more aggressive, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So I get a hope my it's like heightened awareness, you know, in those types of situations. So it's like I'm always kind of looking for those red flags to make sure that those particular ones are not there. Not saying it could never happen again, but I do think I'm a little more, you know, aware of it and kind of the road that leads to it.